Good evening. I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. Well, she is New Carrollton's newly elected mayor, the first woman, the first African American, and the youngest to ever hold that office. Felicia Nemhard says that she intends to assist those in her community who have been hit hard financially during the pandemic.
I know we need to address our residents, the ones that are, I wouldn't say failing, but are in need, that has been out of job for a long time. And we are going to address that by giving out a pandemic relief fund that is being organized through the city. I made that request while I was the council chair. And now that I'm the mayor, I'm going to make sure that that is instituted.
And Nemhard has worked to address hunger in schools since moving to the region in 1998. She was first elected to the city council in 2018 after a write-in campaign by parents at the schools where she volunteered. In-court federal proceedings can resume today on a limited basis in Maryland, including the scheduling of jury trials and grand juries. To minimize the number of people, most proceedings will continue operating virtually at the Greenbelt and Baltimore courthouses. Offices will remain closed, but people will be allowed in the courthouses to observe proceedings. Meantime, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference of Prince George's is gearing up to March for Justice and Equity in Annapolis this week. Members of the local civil rights organization plan to march to the Firemen's Memorial near the governor's mansion this Saturday, June 26. The group is calling on Hogan to get rid of the law enforcement officers' Bill of Rights. The organization also wants Hogan to fully fund the state's HBCUs.
We are going to Annapolis, and it's to let the governor know, and not just the governor, but the state houses as well, that we want to abolish the law enforcement officers' Bill of Rights, that we want police reform, and that we need to end the practice of private prisons, and also that he needs to work on the probation process here throughout the state of Maryland. While we respect law enforcement, understand the dire job that they do and how important it is, they're just people as well. At the end of the day, they take that uniform off, and yes, they are technically on call 24/7, but they are still subject to error, and they should be held accountable.
The march will take place at 6 p.m. Participants are urged to wear face masks. For more information, you can visit the group's Facebook page. A bridging of the Brentwoods rally and protest will be held here in Prince George's tomorrow. It comes after weeks of protests across the nation calling for an end to racism and police brutality. Councilmember Marcus Monroe with the town of Brentwood says it will help unite both Brentwood and North Brentwood in a call for change.
Historically, one town was a sundown town, the other was the town for Black Americans. So it's probably fair to say both towns have never historically had a unison moment. It's about taking that unison moment and then galvanizing that into the movement and supporting that.
The towns of Brentwood and North Brentwood, as well as the county's NAACP and the African American Museum, will unite in tomorrow's rally. It will start at Bartlett Park at 6:30 p.m. Prince George's police identified the suspect and victim of a murder-suicide that happened over the weekend in Suitland. 30-year-old Adden Rush Jr. allegedly shot 51-year-old Kevin Williams of Suitland before turning the gun on himself. The incident happened Saturday just before 1 a.m. in the 3800 block of St. Barnabas Road. Both men were pronounced dead a short time later. Anyone with information on the case is asked to call Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-TIPS. Well, calling all singers, photographers, and producers, Joe's Movement Emporium is seeking a new cohort for its Creative Works program. It's a paid workforce development program for creative residents between the ages of 17 and 24. It will be hosted virtually this year, and participants can learn a variety of skills.
We train them in digital media. We train them in technology, theater technology, And we also teach them essential life skills. So we just wrapped up one cohort with a virtual showcase that you guys can check out on our website. And what we are doing now is recruiting more students who are interested in receiving this information.
And Creative Works is a 14-week program, and it starts on August 13th.
everybody, and welcome to this CTV Sports Report. I'm out here at Camden Yards as we continue our conversation with 2020 Orioles draft picks. They selected high school third baseman Kobe Mayo in the third round. Now, Mayo had already committed to the University of Florida, but signed an above-slot bonus with the Birds to begin his professional career.
I'm just very excited to be a part of the Orioles organization. It's been a lot of excitement with my family and friends, and the whole Baltimore Orioles fan base contacted me. And the University of Florida was my dream school since I was a little kid, and having the opportunity to go there would have been a dream come true. But at the same time, I knew that pro ball would start my career much faster and would get me to where I want to be much faster. And Major League Baseball nowadays is all about the young talent, and I wanted to be a part of that. And I thought that given the opportunity and being drafted by such a great organization, it was hard to pass up on that. They're getting, like I said, I've always said this, a great teammate. That's what always comes first, because I've always been a kid to care about their teammates before myself, and they're getting just a great kid and team player. And I want to win a World Series just as bad as they want to. I would say my power just came from I've always been a big kid, and I've always worked really hard on my hitting. And bat speed is something that I take pride in, because I have one of the top exit velos in the class, and my bat speed, I'd say my bat speed is the reason why I have such great power, and working hard every day hitting. It doesn't come by accident. I worked hard for my power and for everything that came with it.
To soccer, the NWSL season is under a week away from kicking off with the Challenge Cup in Utah on June 27th. Players from the Washington Spirit continue to train ahead of the big tournament and talk about the challenges of getting ready for such a condensed format.
Definitely different, but I think we're all trying to just get excited about it. We want to play, so this is the opportunity for us to do that, and to be the first league back, I think, is really awesome. But just, our prep is different for this than a regular season. It's much shorter time. Our schedule when we're out there is going to be really intense, so just preparing our bodies for that schedule and getting ready mentally to not dwell on anything when we're there. Just move on, whether it's good or bad, get ready for the next game and get ourselves prepared.
I'm excited. I love tournaments. It's do or die. I think that all of us are kind of on board. We want it, and it really shows your mentality, and if you're willing to put everything on the line to win it.
The mood around the team is good. The competitive nature around the team is good. Players understanding their value and their worth and feeling that they've got a really good self-worth for this team is good. But it's very difficult to look at that without knowing, playing against each other is easy. As professional footballers, I enjoyed it as well. You know your teammates, you play against them, and you know what works and you know what you can get away with. But when you're playing against an unknown player, that's a different scenario altogether. So, I don't really want to get carried away about that just yet. I'm happy with what we know we can do. We're going to see where it goes against teams who are going to try and stop us doing what we do well.
And that is your CTV Sports Report.
And that is your CTV News Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Patricia Vallone. Have a great night.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.